Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Open phone lines right now just after 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, October 17. My name is Matt Murphy. This is episode 905 of the Matt Murphy Radio Show on Super Talk. So pleased you've decided to join us. Whatever time you're able to give us, we're certainly appreciative. And I'll tell you what else we're appreciative for. All of you weekend warriors. Let me tell you something. It is officially the weekend. Congratulations. You guys made it. I guess maybe one of these days, you know, I've always poo-pooed the idea of a weekend song. Should we have a weekend song that we play at this time on Fridays? I feel like it's been done. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's plenty of great songs out there.
You know, but I feel like it's been done. But maybe we'll try to come up with something. Maybe not this one. Although I don't mind this one so much anymore. I'm on record as saying that I think this is a fine song that has been ruined by the Tennessee Volunteer fan base.
By the
way, turn this up. There were some people in Alabama claiming that this song isn't even about Tennessee, which I don't know what about. I don't know what about this line they don't get. Woo! All right, it's right there.
It's in the chorus.
It's right there in the lyrics. I don't know.
Well,
Somebody was saying it was Rocky Top, North Carolina.
Those Alabama fans don't have very good listening comprehension, and, you know, it's the school system. I don't blame them.
I think it was a result of Tennessee fans noting that while the song was performed by, and I suppose written by Alabama, that Dixieland Delight is about Tennessee, and they say it in the lyrics. And Alabama fans still insist on having that song played at their stadium on the regular, and they sing their own lyrics to it or whatever. And Tennessee folk are just a little frustrated that Alabama has co-opted the song Dixieland Delight. But you know what? I don't get into all of that. My name's Bennett, and I ain't in it. But I'm into this. I appreciate all of you weekend warriors, you doctors, you nurses, you EMTs, you firefighters, you police officers, all of you people that work throughout the course of the weekend that make our weekends as good and possible as they are, to include restaurateurs and convenience store workers and all of you. We thank you, weekend warriors, for making our weekends what they are. And I hope that all of these No Kings people treat you right and tip you well in the aftermath of their little No Kings rally when they go off and enjoy the trappings of the free market system and enjoy your restaurants and your places of business. I hope they give you a little tip or two. I doubt it because they're liberals, but, you know, one can hope. In the meantime, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986, either via telephone call or via text message. Speaking of the No Kings rally, we had a number of liberals lined up, and they couldn't hold through Friday, and I understand that. But I would love to talk with you. I'm genuinely curious exactly what you think you're doing or accomplishing engaging in these No Kings protests. Because we don't have any kings. No one is suggesting that we do have any kings, except for the liberal protesters that are out saying that they demand that we have, well, no kings. Okay. Well, they'll be out and about over the weekend, expected to include at least 30 separate rallies over the weekend in the state of Tennessee alone. And one would think that we wouldn't have as many high-density locations as that would support 30 separate rallies. But there you go. Apparently, they're out there. So we can discuss that. I also want to talk in a moment about Volodymyr Zelensky. He was back in Washington, D.C. today as Donald Trump attempts to, as best he can, put to bed this conflict. He's already handled matters in the Middle East, and that ceasefire is holding. Now he is turning his attention already to the Ukrainian-Russian conflict, something that he is on record saying he wishes that he could have handled quicker, but sadly he did not realize the anger that Zelensky and Putin had for one another and, you know, the bloodlust that existed with Vladimir Putin in regard to Ukraine, the property itself, and his desire to get the Soviet Union, the former USSR, back together, if you will. In the meantime, a lot of you commenting on the super text line, to include this one. 2035 writes in and says, I sure do wish that immediately following the Red Eye Guys in the morning until Mark Levin comes on in the evenings, you all would do nothing more than broadcast the weather and traffic, as that is the only thing worth listening to on this radio station for the past 2 years. Wow.
Wait, what did it say?
Ken, normally, Kenneth.
What?
Normally, when they throw all the hosts under the bus, they give you and Joan a pass. He's not even giving news a pass.
Well, we do traffic and weather, Joan and I do.
Well, I mean, you do that, but he would just as soon you not do the news, apparently.
What'd he say?
I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna finish up, but I tell you what, I'll start over for you, Jackson. I know you were busy over there. I sure do wish that immediately following the Red Eye Guys in the morning. So this would include Dan Mandis and Nashville's Morning News.
Yes, sir.
It would include Chris Hand and the Chris Hand Show. It would include the Chad Benson Show, heard from noon until 3, and yours truly, Matt Murphy, and this little Murphy extravaganza that we hold from 3 until 7 o'clock. Here's the message. I sure do wish that immediately following the Red Eye Guys in the morning until Mark Levin comes on in the evenings, you all would do nothing more than broadcast the weather and traffic, as that is the only thing worth listening to on this radio station for the last 2 years. If it wasn't for the sidekicks on this station, one of you guys would be out of work. I bet you won't mention this little critique on the air.
Is that giving me props?
I think you're getting some props there. I think maybe Weaver's getting some props as well.
That's the way to go, Brother Jackson.
That's way to go, Brother Weaver. We're carrying Murphy.
Obviously. So I don't know what we bet that I wouldn't mention that on the air, but
They lost.
you just lost. Oh, there you go. And by the way, I would let you give the critique. All you have to do is call me. We take all comers, especially on Friday. First Amendment Freestyle Friday is for you. And, oh, by the way, I have your number. If you don't call us, I can call you. 615-737-9986. In the meantime, it's Nathan's turn. Hello, Nathan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. You've got a thought on the No Kings rally for tomorrow?
You know what? Let me first off saying, you're no Brian Wilson, man, but I've warmed up to you listening to you.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, no, none of us are, and I don't know if you saw or heard us, but Brian was here today.
Was he?
Yeah,
no,
he's
working, man.
Well, he stopped in. Yeah, he stopped in earlier. He got back from his trip with he and Cabana wife. They went out west. If you follow them on social media, you've probably watched some of that. But man, he looks good. Retirement. He wears it well.
Yep. I miss him, but you're good.
Well, thank you.
And your fried J's are great. I don't have anything on the No Kings. I was just wanting to know where you play golf. Is it an Arnold Palmer's course?
An Arnold Palmer's course?
Yeah. In Tennessee?
No. I mean, I play around. I haven't played for a while because of my shoulder surgery, but I was just given the okay today to start swinging, doing full swings. And I'm doing some exercises to build up some of my strength because I had a shoulder replacement in June. But you know, I don't belong.
And I had to swap the left-handed playing golf for a while.
What, you swapped? What? You're kidding?
Yeah. Nope. I swapped.
You're ambidextrous on the. Hold on, Nathan. You're messing with me. You're ambidextrous on the golf course?
Yes, sir.
Oh wow. Well, I need to see this.
My putting, I can't putt left-handed, but I can do everything else.
So is your natural swing right-handed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, I've watched Phil on some of his videos do that, but I didn't know that. I didn't know there were amateurs out there that could do that.
I think the biggest hurdle to get over is when you do your crossover on your hands.
Yeah.
Swapping those up to bottom. And then once you get over that, man, it's just I can drive it about 300 left-handed, but not straight. I got about a 12 handicap right now.
Well, if you've got a 12 handicap and you're hitting the ball off the tee 300 yards, that tells me that accuracy is an issue.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, hey, Nathan, you and I need to play, and if we take your drives, we need to play together, and we take your drives, and I can help you out from there on in, and we might do pretty good.
I think so.
Because I sure as heck can't drive at 300 yards anywhere close. But, I've played around. I mean, I've played just about every public course around. I went to the old Forest Crossing. I think they call it the Bridge now, which is a nice course down in Franklin.
Bridge is off. Yes, sir.
What is it, 12 Stones? Is that right?
Yep, out there in Gallatin. Yep.
Yeah. In Gallatin, I played there. That's a decent enough course. And of course, Hermitage. I mean, the old sheep course with the president.
I do a lot of Greystone and Montgomery Bell because I live out in Dixon.
Oh, yeah, Montgomery. I played Montgomery Bell, too. I drove out that way. Well, no, they're all great. I mean, so many good public courses around, but so many golfers and so many people moving in that you better get a tee time a week or so in advance. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to hijack your show.
No,
man.
you're good. I tell you what, the nicest one that I've played in some time, though, is out there in, I guess it's south of College Grove. It's the Troubadour.
I have not played that.
It's a private joint, and a former coworker of ours, Jeff Malinoff, his parents live out there, and I got a chance to play out there, and man, oh man, those folks are living right.
Oh yeah.
If you ever get a shot at it, Nathan, by all means, get in there. Thank you, Nathan, for the telephone call. Murphy is next in the Burr to talk about No Kings. Hello, Murphy.
Murphy, how you doing? Glad to hear the shoulder's good.
Thank you, brother.
I am not amphibious, but that's quite a skill.
Tell you what.
In a week that the bad orange man saved 20 completely innocent people in a dazzling display of negotiation skills, to have that this week tells you a lot. And then I got to go because dinner's on the table, but also I am not impressed with this Zelensky's skills at all. Got to go, Murph. Love you.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the call. Donald Trump said it best that, it is as simple as this. Vladimir Putin has to want to make a deal in order for them to make a deal. And I'm referring to my Twitter account because I just put it up on the social media platform, and I don't want to misquote the man. But Trump came out earlier today talking about, well, he had a couple of things to say today. Did you ever get that clip? All right, so Donald Trump said this about the meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky. The meeting with President Zelensky of Ukraine was very interesting and cordial, but I told him, as I likewise strongly suggested to President Putin, that it is time to stop the killing and make a deal. Enough blood has been shed, with property lines being defined by war and guts. They should stop where they are, let both claim victory, let history decide. No more shooting, no more death, no more vast and unsustainable sums of money spent. This is a war that never would have started if I were president. Thousands of people being slaughtered each and every week. No more. Go home to your families in peace. Well, obviously Donald Trump wants Vladimir Putin to want to make a deal, but it does not seem as if he does. I disagree with the idea, and some have floated it, that the United States needs to further our involvement. Just as I said when Joe Biden was president, I had far more fears when Joe was president than I do with our current president, because I do not believe that Donald Trump wants to spill a single drop of blood in this conflict, particularly American blood. But at the same time, how do you facilitate a peace if at least one party does not want it? And the other party's not willing to give up all of the land, nor should they be. Will there have to be land concessions? Well, if you get to a peace without one or the other conquering one or the other, then yes, one would expect that there will have to be certain land concessions. But Vladimir Putin cannot get most or all of what he wants. Far from it. He might get a little of what he wants. He might get, to keep Crimea. He might get some of the Donbass region. But you cannot concede to the aggressor the amount of property that he claims to want. And obviously, he's not run out of men, and he's running his country with an iron fist of a dictatorship that allows him to get away with these types of things. And let's see where we are. It is truly the greatest challenge that the deal maker himself, Donald Trump, has faced in the art of the deal. I've not given up yet, and I don't think Donald Trump has either. It's 23 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it says it right there. Second line, Tennessee Byway.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't interrupt this song till the chorus.
No, sir.
Got a little jingle in his pocket.
Yes, sir.
Tennessee Saturday Night. Dixieland Delight. Yeehaw. I think I just realized something. I don't think I've ever listened to this song closely enough. His Dixieland Delight is the chick next to him. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever knew that, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was just talking about how happy he was to be in Dixieland. But no, she's right there with him.
That's right. This is my favorite Alabama song.
Oh, man, I love it.
I love it.
Absolutely
Just remember
love it.
that the only way Alabama can celebrate a win is wishing they were in Tennessee.
Well, I'm going to say something. And I still have a lot of people in Alabama that listen to us online. And I'm thankful for all of them that have followed us up here to Nashville, Tennessee. And I loved the people of Alabama and still do greatly love the people of Alabama. But if you compare the topography, the land, there's no comparison. There just isn't. It's Tennessee. I mean,
Northern Alabama's beautiful.
we call that Southern Tennessee, Ken.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess I see that.
I mean, Bama's got a few things going. They got the coast. They got the ocean.
They got the beach.
They do have a beach. I mean, a little bitty sliver of it, but they got a beach.
Yeah, how'd they get rooked out of that?
I don't know. I campaigned for the 20 years that I lived there, Ken, that they just go take it back from Florida and call it their own. Just moved the Alabama state line to the other side of Pensacola and just call it a day.
Yeah.
And dare Florida to say anything about it. I mean, because, hell, I've been down there.
Yeah.
Panama City, that's redneck country, folks. That's the redneck Riviera. That's the redneck Riviera. That is not Florida, as you know it. Stephen, I promise I'll get to you in just a moment. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Donna, I'll get to your question, too. Donna says, Matt, I'm listening on my radio and watching on YouTube. They don't sync up with timing. Here's my question. Did Checkers come with the shirt that you're wearing? Checkers?
No, but a picnic basket did.
What's wrong with my shirt?
It looks like a picnic table. I don't know where the checker thing comes from.
I don't either.
Did you get that at Cracker Barrel?
That's mean-spirited. I did not get this shirt from Cracker Barrel, but I have shopped at Cracker Barrel, thank you very much. And there's a lot of good things going on at Cracker Barrel, and I like Cracker Barrel, and they didn't change their logo, so huh? Well, right back. Let's go to the news. There won't be any 7 WTN. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show. I promised to go to Steven real quick before we get to Nincompoops in the news, and I might be mildly distracted because I have to find a new Nincompoop because I found my Nincompoop about 2 hours ago, guys, and I just read through the entire story just to make sure that I had a command of what the Nincompoop was. I had done a brief glance of the Nincompoop story, but I didn't realize that at the end of it, somebody dies. And I'm not falling into that trap. I know. I'm not falling into that trap again. So I've got backup Nincompoops. Don't you worry. Thankfully, there are plenty of Nincompoops in the news. But we're going to do that in just a moment. Right now, it's Steven's turn. And it's funny because it says Stephen, no Kings. So for the last 20 minutes, I felt like Stephen King was on the line. But that's not the case. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, Matt. Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like a mixture of all this stuff, the No Kings and the guy that called earlier that was the liberal guy who was talking to you about, he had a bleeding heart for the migrants that are being deported. And I keep going through this over and over in my mind. I keep hearing it from so many people they keep calling them migrants, and you do a good job of separating the issue. That seems like a big issue that we need to try to tackle within the minds of all these people that feel sorry for. They think that it's just innocent immigrants that have been living in our country that are being deported. But if they would just go and YouTube some ICE raid videos, they'll see who they're actually capturing and who they're getting out of our country. It's a war against the cartels. It's a war against illegal immigration, and we're trying to fix what's been broken for so long. And we're getting ready to open up a can on Maduro, and that's going to be a good thing. But we just got to stop the flow of all this stuff coming in our country. But I call them, they're not just illegal immigrants, because I call them, they're more like thieves and liars, because they're not seeking asylum. They was all brought here, and then it just grew into this big monstrous thing that we've had to completely shut down.
Well, this merits a little bit of further discussion. Stephen, I understand over the last 5 years, the Biden administration has soured us on this discussion, but I am compelled to correct. I'm not trying to correct you, but I'm compelled to correct you, because when we say they all, when you're painting with such a broad brush, I think it's unfair. There are people in the United States of America that, yes, came here illegally, that did so to try to achieve the American dream. And I think it's wrong to suggest that that's not true. And it's our fault that we allowed that to happen. It's our fault that throughout the 1990s and the early 2000s that we looked the other way and allowed people to come into the country with the false premise that if they were just here long enough and they laid low long enough that no one would care that they were here illegally. That was kind of the premise back then, that if they just kept their nose clean and they didn't do anything wrong, didn't break any laws, that if they could just manage to do that for 10 or 15 years, then nobody was going to do anything. Well, that wasn't true, and it's never been true. And unfortunately, a lot of people bought into that, and I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad for those people, Steve.
Yeah, I just like to hear you elaborate more on that from time to time. But like you're saying, they're basically they're skipping the process of becoming a legal migrant into our country. Like a lot of our parents and grandparents that are here, that came here from other countries, whether it be Europe, South America, or wherever, anybody that comes here, there is a system in place, and there always has been, and there are things you have to do, and it all starts with filling out paperwork in your country where you're at, coming in through U.S. Customs or coming in on a work visa and putting in the work.
Well,
you have to pass background checks. We got to know who you are and what you're about, or you can't come in here. And even though those people may have never broken any laws or anything, they still skipped over the process. No, they have to pay. And they have to pay for doing so, right? There's no question that there has to be some form of retribution or punishment for them doing that. But I also think that we have to recognize as Americans that there's a penalty for all of us to pay for not dealing with this issue for 40 years. Exactly.
And by the way, these are human beings. I'm not talking about the people that have been here 5 years. I'm not talking about the people that came over through Biden. I'm talking about the people that have been here since the 90s, man. That's a long time.
The long-term, hard-working, law-abiding.
Right. But they have to pay too. And I don't know what form of payment. Once we get done with these latecomers, once we get done with the criminal elements, I don't know what form of payment we're going to ask for these long timers, but I don't necessarily I think it needs to be mass deportation. Some do.
No, I whiskey under the bridge on the most part of all those good, hardworking people that have families that have been here for so long. There's going to have to be some leeway, of course, on all that. But at least if we know the people that are coming over here now, they're doing it the right way, that fixes the issue.
Well,
but I'm with
amen.
you
Amen.
to a certain extent. Yeah.
It's a very tricky conversation because some people, and thank you, Stephen, some people draw the line in different places. It's one that we will take up in the 6 o'clock hour, but now we must get to our appointed duties. And those appointed duties include Nincompoops in the News. Bow. Bow. Oh, it's that time of day. Let's do it. Ken Weaver's back in News Closet B. He's got himself a nincompoop. Jackson Williams is behind the glass in the control area, making sure that everything that comes out of our speaker sounds as good as humanly possible. He is a nincompoop. And Matt Murphy, I'm your humble host, and I might have a nincompoop on my own. It's Nincompoops in the News. Time for us to present from all around these United States of America, nay, the globe, the nincompoops as we find them, and you get to vote on them. 615-737-9986. I don't think I won yesterday. I think that Ken Weaver won yesterday.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Ken, do you have a nincompoop today?
I do.
He didn't have one yesterday.
That's
so if
true.
you didn't win, then I would have had to win.
Yeah.
No, I still think Ken won. I'm not kidding. No, I think more people voted for Ken's non-nincompoop story than voted for either of us.
All right, let's let Ken go. Ken, you're on camera. All right, let's go, Ken.
Let's go, Ken.
65-year-old naked man found with wine bottles arrested in Ocean City, Maryland. 65-year-old man arrested after he was found naked and drunk in broad daylight outside an Ocean City massage parlor. According to Ocean City Today, Willard Lewis Sharp Jr. was charged with disorderly conduct, indecent exposure, and littering or dumping under 100 pounds.
What kind of wine?
Littering.
Ripple. On January 14th, an employee at OC Massage called police when a man outside her business was acting, quote, erratic. Took off his clothes.
Uh-oh.
He then appeared to defecate.
Oh, no.
Before he sat down on a picnic table.
Oh, he sat in it? Oh.
When police arrived, they told him to put his pants on, and he said, I'll admit, I've been drinking.
Oh, well. At least he's honest.
OC Today reported police then saw 5 empty and partially full Sutter Home 6.23-ounce wine bottles in a nearby garden.
That's a lot of Sutter
Wine
Home.
coolers, Ken?
That's a lot of Sutter Home.
Home.
That's like Boone's Farm.
As well as an unopened bottle in his jacket pocket,
Oh, he had some more.
which he wasn't wearing. He was taken into custody and later released. According to Maryland Case Search, he was scheduled to appear in a Worcester County court on February 20th.
The old Worcester County Courthouse.
Yes, sir.
Well, good luck to that fella.
Yeah, let's Willard Lewis Sharp
I hope
Jr.
he gets everything cleaned up, if you know what I'm saying.
Terrible.
Pooped himself, then sat down on it. That's tough. Mine comes out of Columbia, South Carolina. A sheriff, and look, this involves shooting, but my nincompoops are not a part of the shooting. My nincompoops are a part of the witness group because a sheriff said that his deputies are methodically investigating a weekend shooting that killed 4 and injured 16 at a bar in South Carolina. Now, that's a tragedy, and that's not a part of the nincompoopery. No arrests have yet to be made as investigators test DNA, analyze weapons and bullets, enhance video from the crime scene of the early Sunday morning shooting at Willie's Bar and Grill on St. Helena Island, Beaufort County Sheriff P.J. Tanner said Wednesday. Investigators believe the shooting started as a dispute between 2 or 3 people who grew up together in Beaufort County and started firing on one another. Here are the nincompoops, okay? You know how many people were at this party?
How many?
700.
Goodness.
And out of the 700 people at this party, The sheriff of Beaufort County says that they have talked to 500 of them, and nobody knows anything.
Well, of course not.
The witnesses refuse to tell them who the shooters were. As Sheriff Tanner said, I had 700 people at this party, and I can't get a single eyewitness to tell me who the shooters are. It's ridiculous. The sheriff says he thinks that people want to cooperate, but perhaps fear retribution. He said they can report anonymously through Crime Stoppers if they so desire. These are nincompoops. They allow shooters to run roughshod over their communities, and they don't say a word about it. And I don't think it's about retribution at all. I think it's about WB. You know what WB stands for, Jackson?
No.
Warner Brother. That's what WB stands for. It's all about Warner Brother. When the cops come around, Warner Brother.
Like the Looney Tunes Company?
Like the Looney Tunes Company. And it needs to be stopped. It's Looney Tunes in Beaufort County, South Carolina. That's my nincompoop. What's yours, Jackson?
All right. Texas, what would you call a officer?
You won, Texas.
Texas prison guard arrested for chicken wing smuggling caper.
Hold on a second. I like the fact that Jackson presents his story on Nincompoops of the News, and he goes, Texas, what would you call it? Well, how are we supposed to know?
I don't know. A prison guard in Texas, a court filing has put some meat on the bones of the case against a corrections officer just arrested for allegedly smuggling chicken wings into a Texas lockup.
Oh.
According to court papers filed yesterday, a Travis County jail official was monitoring an inmate's phone calls on an unrelated incident when the man told a relative that a corrections officer had provided him with chicken wings after he sent the officer money on Cash App. Specifically, the inmate said that the officer had agreed to supply him with habanero mango chicken wings from Wingstop in return for $50. A subsequent review of jail surveillance video showed a food delivery arriving at the Travis County Correctional Complex, a 2,300 inmate campus in suburban Austin. After the paper bag was run through an X-ray scanner, Amos Nyanway, 25 years old, picks up the bag and eats some of the chicken wings himself.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nyanway, who was hired last year, then takes several chicken wings from the bag, places them on paper towels, and hands them to an inmate. And the inmate walks away with the chicken wings and eats them. Court filings do not identify the inmate or why an officer with the jail's Security Threat Intelligence Unit was monitoring his calls. Investigators have obtained a search warrant for Cash App data to determine the extent of the officer's involvement in bringing in contraband. Nyanway was busted Tuesday on a misdemeanor contraband charge citing Texas Penal Code 38114. An arrest affidavit knows chicken wings are not provided or authorized to be provided to inmates.
Wait, so I may have missed it because you were delivering that story very quickly. How did he smuggle them in?
He just ordered it like on DoorDash or something.
Oh, and they just brought it to the...
And then he just put it on a paper towel and gave it to the inmate.
I mean, I guess that's better than smuggling it in your in the old prison wallet. You know?
Like last week's nincompoop.
Yeah, like last week's nincompoop.
He got a whole thermos up there. I hope that guy's okay.
I mean, I that must have been some really good soup.
Good
I
soup.
suppose.
Boys, President Trump just made Senator Richard Blumenthal a nincompoop.
How's that, Ken?
What'd he do, Ken?
Can you tell us in a minute?
Yes.
Okay, Ken's going to tell us in a minute.
I'm going to read you part of
Let him
Trump's.
go ahead.
I'm going to read you part of Trump's Truth Social on commuting George Santos's sentence.
So Trump commutes George Santos's sentence. He's making Richard Blumenthal a nincompoop. Plus, he dropped a line today, boys, that y'all won't believe. And if you've not heard it, buckle up. It's a good one. It's about Venezuela and the president down there, Maduro. That's on the way next. That's how we play Nincompoops in the News. Super Talk 90.7 WTN. Vote early, vote often. Vote Jackson, vote Ken. I don't know that I'm worthy, but you can vote me if you so desire. It is 5 minutes until the top of the hour, and when we get there, we're 1 hour to go before we call it a weekend. It's the Matt Murphy Show, for better or worse, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.